I see. Let's stay in Parliament and talk about the impasse between the Speaker and by extension Parliament and the Presidency. For how long would this, persist as it is?
Yeah, it only persists when the President continues to treat Parliament with that level of disrespect. I mean, the Constitution is clear how things are done, even if you won't act on it. To say that you won't accept a letter or a transmission or a memo from Parliament is very, very insulting. At least acknowledge receipt and say that I acknowledge receipt of your letter dated so and so. But based on A, B, C, D, I'm unable to do X, Y, Z. That's decorous. That's a bit to write and tell Parliament that we should desist and cease henceforth from transmitting such letters to you. Well, let's pick out to my and say, okay, also desist henceforth from sending your bills to Parliament. And we'll be descending onto the path of anarchy.
And indeed, the Speaker has said that, vetting of his appointees won't go on because of a court case. And for some people, including the Attorney General, the Speaker erred on that level.
I'm very surprised at this Attorney General. When the e-levy case was in court, he didn't know that. And he got the President to sign it. Why the double standard?
Well, the argument is that Dafiameko's court situation is not seeking an intervention of the Supreme Court.
Dafiameko is going to court to seek a restraining order on the Speaker. Finish. If the court feels that it's not restraining this or that, or it doesn't fit here and there, the court will rule. The Attorney General is not the court. He's just expressing his opinion. He's expressing his opinion to the President. The Speaker is equally a lawyer. He expresses his opinion, you think that yours is superior. If you think yours is superior, go to court and argue to say that based on Dafiameko's case, you cannot grant an injunction. But does he support the injunction on the bill? Does he support that? That the President shouldn't sign? So it does appear that...
It was based on his advice.
Yeah, it does appear that it's a cooked thing. Let's get somebody, let the person just go to court. And even before the person went to court, the President was talking about it. How did he know Richard Sky was going to court? He hadn't gone to court yet, though. And yet the President was telling the business and diplomatic community that there is a court case coming up.
Is that so?
Check.
I haven't checked the date and timeline on this. I see.
So clearly, it's like, look, I won't sign it, but let me look for some innocuous, crude method to frustrate the people. MPs were there. They are your party members. If you felt that you didn't want it, lobby them and let them go against it.
What is the political motivation for pushing the anti-gay bill and making sure that President Akufo-Addo signs it? Because the Attorney General says every part of that bill is politically motivated.
So it's politically motivated by both MPP and NDC to make President Akufo-Addo unpopular? Because it was unanimous. If it was a one-sided affair, they say, oh, it's politically motivated by the NDC to gain political advantage. So why is he saying that all the majority members in Parliament, MPP members, decided that they will support NDC people so that they will lose their seats? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Where is the sense? Where is the logic in this?
He says it's not urgent, and he thinks that
the proponents... So tell his people in Parliament.
The proponents are politically motivated to do
this. It was signed by both sides. The motion was moved by both sides, both MPP and NDC. I wasn't deeply involved in that, but on the floor, the sponsors of the motion are not just NDC members. They are both NDC and MPP. But there's a president who says he wants to build a cathedral for God. Help us to promote proper sexual marriage in accordance with what God wants. He said no. So do they support the LGBTQ movement or what? If they don't, and they have some amendments, they could have brought it to the floor. The Attorney General had every right to come to the floor as a minister and advocate that, oh, maybe clause 1, as Attorney General, I think that is not proper. Let's tweak it this way. So that all of us will then come up with a document. You don't sit, fold your arms, keep quiet. When it's done, then you try to punch holes in the bill. That's not what an Attorney General should do. He's a minister. He has audience in the chamber.
Your side in Parliament is saying that, look, if this goes on, we are already looking into impeachment of the president. How are you going to
That's
do
on the
that?
table. That's on the table. If both sides pass a bill and the president thinks that all the members of parliament, 275, we are not wise enough and that we didn't do the proper thing, and he is wise, and he couldn't use whatever means to talk to his own people at the consideration stage, because it was done in public. It wasn't shrouded in secrecy.
You must admit
then he must have a problem.
You must admit how his side is already supporting him in his letter to Parliament. And so if you were to go the route of impeachment, at best you would only get the quorum to give a notice. You cannot go through with this.
Let's get there. When we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. I think what we should do is to send a letter back to him and tell him that he should sign it. If he won't sign it, he should come back to Parliament with reasons why he doesn't want to sign it. But to say that we should desist, cease, forthwith, with sending letters to him or communications to him, that is a huge insult to Parliament. And I'm asking myself, so at the presidency, all the people, the chief of staff, his advisors, is that the letter they were able to write? I mean, beyond everything, you look, let's even forget about the politics. And is that a proper letter? Is that how you communicate to Parliament? That the secretary to the president writes to tell Parliament that Parliament should cease and desist henceforth from sending such communications to the president? Is that how they were trained? That you write to Parliament with such level of disrespect? I mean, no. I mean, look, that's not Ghana. That's not our standard.
But speaking of impeachment, is the president's conduct at the moment an impeachable offense?
Well, it's on the table. It's on the table.
But is it an impeachable offense?
I think that leadership will meet. Usually that's what is done. And they would communicate to the president and advise him to behave. I'm sure if he fails to do that, we would impeach him. And we would impeach him if he fails to heed our advice. The impeachment is on the table. Let me assure you, it's on the table. It's one of the cards. It's not off the table. We are watching that.
Very well.
And all options are on the table. Through constitutional means, the president can be impeached. And if he gets to that level, if he crosses that red line, we'll move that process. I see.
So my guess is that if you were to impeach, you consider this behavior or conduct of the president inimical to, our constitutional democracy.
An affront to the Constitution, to the tenets of and principles of good governance and democracy. And already, we are talking to some of the majority members.
And it's going well?
Very, very well. Positive. And I would just wish that they would advise him to sign this bill. He shouldn't delay. He should sign it. If the Supreme Court is minded to strike it out or declare it null and void, they will do that.
Indeed. While we are in Parliament, let's talk about the minority and the Electoral Commission. Your leader came out to say that the Electoral Commission had told them that some 7 BVD machines were missing, only for Electoral Commission to say no. How is that conversation going on among you members on the minority side in Parliament now?
First of all, I stand by the minority leader. I know Honorable Tuforson is a man of integrity, a man of his word. He wouldn't come out to misrepresent the minutes of whatever transpired. But the EC admits that there's some missing. So whether the mountain went to Muhammad or Muhammad came to the mountain, or whether Jonah swallowed the whale or the whale swallowed Jonah, there was some swallow or movement. They are saying that 5 laptops were missing. And the EC will not just buy laptops for showcasing. They would buy laptops because they want to keep some critical information.
Right.
So
they say they have no information on it, but where does this end? Where is the exit for all of this?
We need an independent inquiry. We need an independent inquiry to assess all the biometric machines and their laptops and their data to ensure that the integrity of the whole electoral system is preserved. Because in this election, 2024 election, it's a crucial election. And Ghanaians cannot go through this excruciating, unimaginable, unparalleled, and painful, terrible situation where even to put 3 square meals on a table is now becoming a difficulty. And when they go to express their opinion and they go to vote, somebody will sit somewhere through very crooked means, steal the mandate of the people. We will not allow that. We must ensure that this election is free, fair, transparent, and that President Mahama is sworn in on the 7th of January.
And do you get that indication right now?
As for the decisions being made, Ghanaians have decided that they are tired of this incompetent government. That's a fact.
Do you get the indication that the EC's conduct inspires a free...
No, I'm not satisfied with their conduct. I'm not satisfied with their conduct. I think they can do better, especially their posturing, their level of engagement. I think they can do better.
I see. I want to talk about the Jinapor brothers. Was it intentional to spread yourself across the three parties?
No, we don't have three parties. We are two politicians.
You are two politicians.
Yeah.
I thought the CPP Jinapor too was...
Oh, there's no CPP. I heard that too. So there's no CPP.
So they're just the two of you?
No, there are two. You know, I had my formal education in the North. And so I happened to associate with Haruna, John Mahama, most of the current leaders that we have. And by association, I happened to join the NDC. My brother was in Ashanti region, and it looks like along the line at KNUST, he tended to associate with Dr. Nani and all
I
this.
see.
The thing is that we don't have a political tradition in our family, unlike others who would get up and say, my father was a minister, so they follow that tradition. But I think that I made the best choice. I mean, the NDC...
Better than your brother did.
Yes, I'm convinced about that.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.